Everybody, hope we are all doing well. Welcome to another full body reformer class. I would say this is a more intermediate / advanced workout. It's going to be very much focused on our glutes and our legs, so much focus on the lower body, but we do incorporate a little bit of arms, abs, stability work as well. But I would say the strong focus is the legs, and you are going to feel the burn. So I hope that you enjoy, and let's get into it. What we used to do with our footwork. We're going to do our footwork seated on the foot mat. So this is suitable for your prenatal clients, or if you are pregnant and want a footwork section that's suitable for you, you can do this. So we're seated on the reformer facing the tower, and our hands are going to come to either side, and just making sure that your hands are nice and stable. So for me that's with my thumbs to the back, but for you that could be thumbs to the front. So just have a play around with it, figure out what feels most comfortable for you and go with that. We're bringing our toes right to the edge of the carriage, and our feet are at hip width distance apart. Our back is flat, and we are drawing in through our core, sitting up nice and tall. Take an inhale, and then exhale. We just push away and straighten those legs. So full extension of those legs as you exhale for 2 and 3. Inhale, come all the way back through to that stopper for 4 and 5 and 6. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Coming all the way back in. And then we're going to exhale, push out. Now I want you to lift your left leg up off the carriage, point the toe, and then inhale to bend that right knee in towards the stopper. Exhale, push away. So we're doing some single leg footwork here, but you will feel that your thighs are really starting to kick in now, and it just requires a little bit more control for us to stay nice and stable. Let's do 2 more, and then hold it out in that extension with the left leg, hovering just an inch off that carriage for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come all the way back in. That burns, that is a burner, okay? Let's do the other side. Inhale, exhale, extend out both of the legs, and then we're going to lift that right leg up. Inhale, bend the left knee all the way into that stopper. Exhale, push away. Think about pointing those toes on the right leg that's extended. We've got 4 more, and 3. Use your breath to get you out. Last one. Hold it out there for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come all the way back in. Bend that knee. Ooh, that was a burner, guys. Now, you're going to take a hold of your weights. I'm using 2 kilos, which is a good weight for this exercise. So we're going to add in some arm work now. So you're bringing your toes to the edge of that carriage again, and then the weights are coming to our shoulders, taking a nice deep breath. Exhale, push away, and then those weights come up overhead. And then as the knees bend in, the elbows bend in as well. And those weights come to the back of the head. And then we bend all the way back in. So exhale, push out, weights come overhead. Tricep dip as the knees bend in. And then exhale, push out with those feet, and the weights come up overhead. So it takes a little bit of coordination, this one. Exhale, push away, weights come up overhead. Tricep dip as the knees bend in. Exhale, push away, and those hands come back up. And then inhale, the weights come back to the shoulders and the knees bend in. Let's keep going like this. 4 more. Away, weights come up overhead, tricep dip, knees bend in. I've lost count, I think this is our last one. And then come all the way in. shake it out, roll off those shoulders. We've got one more leg to add on. So the weights are coming back up to the shoulders, we inhale, exhale, push away, those weights come up overhead. Now we keep the legs extended, those hands come out to a T shape. And now we rotate the palms. Rotate and rotate. Let's do 4 more. And 3, and 2, and 1. And then we come all the way back in. Now we're going to do both together. So we exhale, and the legs push out, and the arms come out to a T shape. And then we bend in as the arms rotate. Exhale, rotate the palms, legs push out. Inhale, bend in, rotate the palms. 4 more. And 3. Woo. And 2. And last one. Nice job. And then bring those weights to the shoulders. And then just pop them down on the platform. And you are done for our footwork. Now we are going to do some sideline glute work. So for me, as a base option, I would do this on 1 red and a blue. If you want to try it on 2 reds, that is totally fine. See how you get on. Maybe try it on a red and a blue. See if you want to up it. Okay? So find a nice comfortable position lying on your side. That left leg comes up onto the foot bar, and I want you to bring that foot in line with your glute, okay? Taking a nice deep breath in. Exhale, we push away, straighten that leg. Inhale to bend in. And 2. And 3. And 4. This does possibly feel a bit easier actually, so I maybe would go on 2 reds in hindsight. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, push away. Inhale, bend in. Last one. Add that rotation through the heel now. So the heel's coming onto the foot bar, the toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale and exhale, push away. So try to keep a nice straight line through the body here. So don't let your body completely slump over to the side. 4 more. And 3. And last 2. And last one. Come all the way back into that stopper. And then just lift yourself up for a second. I'm going to add on some arms now. So I just want you to take your tension down a little bit. So you're just going to come onto 1 glute spring for me. And then lie yourself back down. Again, putting that ball underneath your head. Finding a nice comfortable sideline position. And then your left hand is coming into the long strap here. You can come in the short strap if you want a bit of extra added tension. It's going to be a bit more challenging. I'm going to go with the long strap today. Taking a hold of that peg behind you or holding on to the shoulder rest. So we're going to take an inhale and then exhale. That hand comes down, nice and close to the body. So all the way into the glute. Inhale, that hand comes up. Return to that start position. Don't let your hand come back behind you. So we want to keep our hand in line with our shoulder each time the arm comes up. And 3. Good job. And 4. Might feel a little bit easier, but we are going to keep adding on, guys. So don't add anything on yet in terms of extra tension. Let's do 2 more. And last one. And then I want you to hold it there with that hand nice and close to the body. Now we're going to start to work through our triceps. So we just bend in at the elbow and then exhale. Lower that arm, bring it nice and close. Inhale, we lift. Exhale to lower. And 3. Good job. And 4. And 5. And 6. We're going to go for 8. So we've got 2 more to go, nearly there. And last one. And then extend that arm up overhead. And release, bringing that strap back to the peg. And then we're going to sit up. And we'll take a little circuit break before we do the other side. So we are going to come into a 4-point kneeling position, facing your tower. You want to hold on to these little sections that are just directly in front of your shoulder rest, and then you're going to bring that left foot into the long strap, so make sure that it's nice and secure. And then we're finding this nice flat back, thinking about drawing in through our core. So I want you to hook your toes at the edge of the carriage. We're about halfway, 2/3 of the carriage, something like that. So just make sure that your feet are hanging off the edge. Taking an inhale. As you exhale, we're extending out that left leg behind us, and then inhale to bend in. Come back to that same start position, so the knees come back in line each time. Exhale as we extend and bend in for 3 and 4 and 5. So make sure we're controlling it on the way back in. Don't let the knee come right in. So we want to stop with the knees in line. 2 more. And last one. And then hold it out in that extension for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Just bend in for a second. And just come back into a bit of a stretch. We are going to add on another layer, but let's just take a moment because I was really feeling it then. Got one more little thing to add on. So when you're ready, coming back up, taking an inhale, exhale, extend out that leg, hold it here, and now we're just going to add a little leg lift and lower. So really thinking about engaging through that leg, tiny little lifts. Let's do 4 more, and 3, last 2, 1. Hold it out there, add a rotation, so little tiny circles, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's rotate the other way, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then let's release that strap, pop that back on that peg, and then let's do the other side. And just come up to seated for a second, and just stretch out for a second, so stretching out of our triceps. Let's just take a little side bend, and side bend over the other way. Need a bit of a breather in between those legs, they are really hard. Okay, 4-point kneeling position. Right foot comes into the long strap, base of the foot. Bring those feet so they're just hovering off the edge of the carriage. Finding that nice flat back, engaging through our core. Inhale, exhale, we extend that right leg back. Inhale, the knee bends in. And 2. Inhale, come all the way in. And 3, good work guys. And 4, we've got 4 more. And last 3. And last 2. And last 1. Hold it out in that extension for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come all the way in. Taking that stretch, and then we're going to add on that final layer, so that leg lift, and then the little circles, the circles of doom. Let's come back up, find your nice setup, take an inhale, exhale, extend, extending out that leg, hold it, and then let's add that little leg lift and lower. Really thinking about engaging through the whole body. And 3, 2, 1, let's add that circle, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reverse it, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale, bend in, get that foot out of there, and then bringing the strap back onto the pegs. Really nice work guys. Okie dokes, let's do that other side. So we've got our other side lying series for our glutes. So I'm going to come on to one red and a blue, just because we want to be equal both sides, but as I mentioned earlier, I think we can probably do 2 reds on that one. So come in line onto our side, that right foot comes up onto the foot bar, getting that heel really flat against the foot bar, aiming to have our heel in line with our glute. Inhale, exhale, push away, and then bend in for 2. Thinking about a nice straight line through the body. 3 and 4. Let's do 4 more. And last 3 and 2 and last 1. And then we come all the way in. Add that rotation through the heel. Inhale, exhale, push away, straighten that leg. 2, good job. And 3, nice. And 4 more guys. And last 3 and 2. Nice job. Last 1. And then coming all the way in, getting rid of that ball, and then we are going to grab a hold of our box. We are bringing our box on short ways and coming onto 1 blue spring. So just 1 blue spring on the pegs. So on the top row of notches, grabbing a hold of our straps behind us, and our palms are facing forward. Now I want you to bring the elbows in line with our ribs, and we're taking a nice seated upright position as though we've got a piece of string pulling our head towards the ceiling. We're taking an inhale, and then as you exhale, those hands push forward as though we're offering a tray of drink to someone. And then inhale, the elbows come back in nice and close to the body for 2 and 3 and 4. Let's do 4 more. And last 3 and last 2 and last 1. And come all the way in. I've just noticed that I still have a red spring on, cheeky red spring, so I'm going to take that on. So let's do 2 more of those offerings. We start with the elbows nice and close to the body. We extend out and in, out and in. Now add a rotation through the palms, and then we're just going to bend at the elbows, and then exhale, push forward, and the palms meet one another. So you're coming forward into this kind of diamond shape. So this is working through our chest press. 4 more. And last 3. And 2. And last 1. And then rotate the palms and bend the elbows back in, nice and close to the body. And then we pop the pegs back on. We've been into our warrior lunge, so this is where things start to get a little bit spicy for our legs. So we are coming up onto the platform with our left foot, and then our right foot is going to come up against that box, and you're adding a bit of a rotation through that right heel. And I want you to think about the hips really facing forward. So if we kind of get these gum fingers, we want them to be completely facing forwards, and the hands are coming to the hips. So we're just going to start with our skater. So we take a nice deep breath in, and then as you exhale, I want you to keep this left leg straight, and the right knee bends in, and then you inhale, come all the way back into that stopper. Exhale, bending at that knee, and then inhale, come all the way back in. And 3, good job. Inhale, come all the way in. So as we extend out with that right leg, we're aiming to get the knee directly over the toe. So a nice bend through that knee. Let's do 3 more. And last 2. And last 1. Now I want you to hold it out in this extension now for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, we come all the way back in. We're going to add another layer on. I'm just going to take my socks off because I'm struggling to get a grip. This is why you should have grip socks on. It's very naughty of me. Okay, so find that rotation through the right foot again. The left foot is facing forward on the platform. The hands come to the hips. We take an inhale, exhale, bending that right knee, come into that extension, and then we add a skater. So the knee's just going to bend in slightly, and then you exhale, push away. Inhale, bend in for 2. So you should really start to feel it in your glutes now, and your thighs on the right leg. And we've got 3 more. And last 2, and last 1, and then bring it all the way in. Grabbing a hold of those weights now. So I've got 2 kilo weights, whatever is good for you. And we're taking those weights and starting with the weights at the hips. So setup is exactly the same. Take an inhale and then exhale. So we're just going to start with single skaters. So the weights come up in front of you as the knee bends. For 2. And 3, good job. And 4. Let's do 2 more like this. And last one. And then come all the way in. Okay. All the way back into that stopper. And now we're going to add on a little bit more. So we're going to add that skating single leg as those hands come up overhead. So inhale, exhale, the weights come out in front of us, and then we add that skating leg with that right foot for 4, and 3, and 2, and last one. Then draw all the way back into that stopper, and those weights come back towards the hips. Nice work. We're going to move into front facing lunge. So again, that left foot is up on the platform, in the centre of the platform, and the right foot is facing forward, and your big toe should just be touching that box, just for a bit of extra added stability. Get rid of the weights for now, hands into the hips. Inhale, and then exhale. That front knee bends, and the back leg stays straight. So again, aiming to get that knee directly over the toe. Exhale, push away. Find that lunge. Inhale, come in. Your heel on your left leg. We'll lift up a little bit, that's okay. 3 more. Bit of a hinge forward with the body as you push out on that right leg. Last 2. And last one, and then hold it out in that extension. Watch your balance. Hold it for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, we come all the way in. We're going to add that skating leg now on the right foot. So just get your nice set up, take a breath, inhale, exhale, push out into that extension and skate it for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Come all the way back into that stopper. Grabbing a hold of our weights for our last little layer. So start with the weights at the hip. We inhale, we're just going to do single legs to begin. So exhale, come out, and we hinge forward with that body, and the weights come up out in front of us. So bending at that knee, getting that nice bend, making sure that back leg is staying straight. For 3, and 3 more, and 5, and last one, 6, and then come all the way in. Last little bit of work now, guys. I know it's hard. We're going to add that skating single leg with the weights up overhead. So inhale, exhale, push out, come into that extension, and skate for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come all the way back in. Get rid of those weights for a second. And just shake out those legs. It is really hard, this. So don't underestimate how challenging this is. It's hard to teach and talk. So I'm going to do the other side now. The right leg comes back onto the platform. Just get rid of those weights for a second. Hands are going to come to the hips. We're just going to start with that skating forward lunge on that left leg. So the left leg, the knee bends right over that front toe. And 3, little hinge forward with the body as we push out. And 3 more. And last 2. Good job, again using your breath. Inhale, come all the way in. We're going to hold it out in that extension now for 6. Exhale, we push out and hold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come all the way back in. Skating single leg. Exhale, push out. And then skate it for 6, and 5, and 4. Last 3, nearly there guys. 2, and 1. Come all the way back in, pick up those weights. We're going to start with single leg lunges with the weight coming up overhead. So left foot is up against that box. Right foot is on the platform, your heel is up slightly. Taking an inhale, exhale, hinge forward, bend at the knee, and then we come all the way back in. 2, exhale, hinge. Knee bends, 3, back leg stay straight. Let's do 3 more. Nearly there. Last 2. And last 1. And then draw it all the way back in. Shake it off for a second. You're going to add on that skater. And then we'll turn around. Do the other leg. Inhale. Exhale, push out into that extension and skate for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way back in. Get rid of your weight. Good work guys, just pop them to the side of the platform. We are going to use them again on the other side. Hopefully you can still hear me. So adding that rotation through the left foot now, up against the box. The right foot is up on the platform, in the middle of the platform. Just make sure that you're nice and stable. And then we exhale, push away, bend that knee. 2, and 3. Make sure your gaze is directly forward. Nice straight line through the body. And 1, hold it out in that extension here for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, we come all the way back in. And now we're adding that skating single leg. Hold it out and then skate. 6, and 5, and 4. Last 3, last 2, and 1. Come all the way back in. Come out of it, grabbing a hold of those weights. Starting with our singles. So inhale. Exhale, we push out, bend the knee, hinge forward, and the weights come out in front of us. 2, good job. And 3, beautiful work guys, nearly there. And last 2. Making sure we're getting all the way back into that stopper each time, but moving with control. And now we add that skate. And 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way back in. Woo. And getting rid of those weights for a second. Good work. That is really quite hard, so do not underestimate how tricky that work is, guys. Well done. Okay, last bit of work now. Oh, yeah, this is a burner. So again, we're going to stay on one glute string. I want you to come straddling your box. So one foot is in between the headrest and your other foot is on the carriage. And then we're taking a hold of that strap in the left hand and you're coming into the long strap. You're going to unhook your thumb. So you let the strap come onto the wrist and then you interlace the hands. You bring the hands out in front of you, so as though you're over this kind of big beach ball shape. think of like a bit of a rounding through the top of your spine. So we're not sat completely upright, a little bit of a rounding. Taking an inhale, those hands are going to lift up, and then you exhale, come back down over that beach ball. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower, maintaining that shape the whole time, and trying to keep the hands moving in a straight line, not like this, which is easy to do, so trying to lift them directly upright. And let's do 2 more, and last one, exhale on the way up. Nice job. Okay, let's roll it out for a second, roll those shoulders back. We're going to add an extra little layer in, which is really challenging. So you can just stick with the arm lifts and lowers sat on the box, or if you want to challenge yourself, you're going to come up into this squat, okay? So we inhale, exhale, hands come up, inhale to lower, and 2, good job, and 3, and 4, and last 2, and last 1. Coming back down, and then let's add a little pulse at the bottom for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then sit down on that box. Gosh guys, that is really, really hard. Okay, and then we're coming back into that same shape for a power press to finish. So the hands come out in front, the strap is on the wrist. Inhale, and we're bending in at those elbows, and then exhale, push forward. Inhale, bend in, exhale, push forward. Inhale to come in for 3, we've got 3 more, and last 2, and last 1, and then release it, get rid of that strap guys. Really nice work. Bringing that box up off your reformer. I'm just going to encourage, kneeling against, so you're facing forwards towards the foot bar. Your hands are coming to shoulder width distance. You're finding a nice flat back, and our gaze is directly forward. I want you to bring the left foot in between the hands here, okay? Making sure that we're drawing our shoulders away from our ears. You're going to exhale, and I want you to try and straighten that front leg until you feel that nice stretch down the back of the hamstrings. When you've got that stretch, hold it there for 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale, 2 more, inhale, and exhale, and last one, and then we draw it all the way back into that stopper. Left leg comes down into parent, into that kneeling position, right leg comes up, and then we exhale. Push back and straighten that front leg. Find the stretch, hold it there for 3 breaths. Inhale, and last 2, and last 1. Draw it all the way back into that stopper, and then come back into a stretch. So keeping your hands on that foot bar, and then pushing as far forward as you can. Kind of coming back into this nice child's pose. Hold it here. And then coming out of it, and you are done. If you survived this workout, well done. If you enjoyed it, let me know if you prefer this to kind of the more beginner style, and yeah, let me know what you would like to see.